House Republicans today got right to work, dividing their party even more than usual. After a full day, the 118th Congress still does not have a Speaker of the House. In case you missed it, don't worry, I'm Marty, a culture and politics writer, and I'll help you get up to speed. Here's how the first day back in session started. Lots of excitement and welcoming chatter on this opening day of the 118th Congress. Friends and colleagues alike happy to see one another and get started. And then there was George Santos, the new Republican representative-elect from New York, who was recently exposed for completely fabricating his past, everything from education to experience to religion, and is also under active investigations by federal and local prosecutors for potential criminal activity during his 2 congressional campaigns. Seems like this suddenly matters in 2023, unlike in 2016. The first order of business would be voting on the House Majority Leader, which would most likely be a Republican since Republicans won back the House in midterm elections. California Representative Kevin McCarthy has had his eye on this role for years. But since Republicans only won the House by a narrow majority, a total of 222 Republicans to 212 Democrats, he needed 218 total votes to secure that position. However, McCarthy was going into this knowing that he had a faction of at least 5 defectors from his own party who would vote against him. After a quorum was established, each member of the House, currently 434 of them, would be called on alphabetically to register their vote. They would do this by stating out loud, by name, the candidate they were voting for. Typically, this is not a big deal. Both Republicans and Democrats are on board with which nominee their caucus has selected. For example, it would have been expected that most Republicans would vote for Kevin McCarthy, and most Democrats would vote for Hakeem Jeffries of New York. But while vote after vote of defectors piled up, from the expected 5 to a total of 20, the Republicans' frustration was visible and sometimes audible.
Are there further nominations?
America knows that Washington is broken. Washington's broken. We're the last ones to know. I place the name of my friend and colleague from Arizona, Andy Biggs, for Speaker of the House. Thank you.
Obert.
I rise to cast my vote for the Honorable Jim Jordan.
Jordan. Rakeen. Banks.
Cloud. Jordan. Crenshaw. McCarthy.
Gates.
Andy Biggs.
Banks.
Good of Virginia. Banks. Gunsar. Banks.
Harris. Zeldin.
Luna. Jordan. Miller of Illinois. Jordan. Norman. Banks.
Ogles.
American patriot, gentleman from Ohio, Jim Jordan.
Jordan.
Perry. Banks. Rosendown. Banks.
Roy.
Myron Dobbs.
Donald. No persons having received a majority of the whole number of votes cast by surname, a speaker has not been elected.
I rise to nominate Kevin McCarthy for Speaker of the House. In 2 years' time, we have a border that is no longer a border. We have a military that can't meet its recruitment goals. We have bad energy policy, bad education policy, record spending, record inflation, record debt, and a government that has been weaponized against we the people, against the very people we represent. So we had better come together.
I'm nominating Jim Jordan, who just gave a speech with more vision than we have ever heard from the alternative. Maybe the right person for the job of Speaker of the House isn't someone who has sold shares of themselves for more than a decade to get it.
Meanwhile, on the other side of the aisle, as stated by Representative Pete Aguilar of California, Democrats were completely united and undeterred by any drama.
Today, Madam Clerk, House Democrats are united. From voting rights to reproductive rights, we are united. We are unified behind a speaker who is an unapologetic advocate for protecting and expanding our freedoms. He does not traffic in extremism. He does not grovel to or make excuses for a twice-impeached so-called former president. He does not bend a knee to anyone who would seek to undermine our democracy. We are prepared to nominate a leader who will open the door to the new generation of leadership. Madam Clerk, a Latino is nominating for leader of this chamber, a black man for the first time in our history. We are unified behind a speaker who will continue that progress despite the chaos on the other side, Madam Clerk. We are going to stay here to get this done. We are unified, and we are all going to support Hakeem Jeffries for Speaker. The lead vote getter in the last ballot. Madam Clerk, as chair of the Democratic Caucus, I'm directed by the vote of the caucus to present for election the name of the Honorable Hakeem Jeffries, the representative-elect for the state of New York, once again, and we will be unified once again in our support for him.
On what should have been a triumphant first day for the Republicans in their brand new majority role, it was anything but. None of the new members of the House of Representatives can be sworn in to fulfill their duties until a House Speaker is chosen, which could be days or weeks. House precedent dictates that members continue to take votes until someone secures the majority needed to prevail. But with Republicans deadlocked in a mutiny of alt-right versus ultra-alt-right, McCarthy failed to secure the votes needed after 3 ballots and many hours into the night. Today marked the first in a very long time. The House failed to elect a speaker on the first roll call vote since December of 1923, a time when the election for House Speaker stretched for 9 ballots. It's been 99 years since this has happened. So Republicans may not have had the day of great victory, which they've been imagining for 4 years, but their circus sideshow today did make for a rather historic one.